This story evokes mixed emotions: sorrow, anger, and inspiration. It tells the life story of a little girl named Joan D'Alessandro, who brought joy to everyone around her with her kindness and sincerity. But it also tells of her tragic fate, which shook a small town and led to changes that altered the lives of thousands. Joan D'Alessandro, a 7-year-old girl from Hillsdale, New Jersey, delighted those around her with her warmth and energy from an early age. Her kindness and sincere smile won the hearts of everyone who knew her. She grew up in a close-knit religious family with 2 older brothers who protected her and often played with her in the cozy backyard of their home. Joan attended a Baptist school where she quickly connected with other children thanks to her friendliness and curiosity. Her teachers praised her dedication and academic achievements, and her classmates loved spending time with her. In addition to her studies, Joan was passionate about ballet. Her graceful movements on stage often amazed her parents. Drawing and art also played an important role in her life. The walls of their home were decorated with her bright illustrations. On top of that, Joan was an active member of the Girl Scouts. She loved group outings and trips into nature, where the girls learned how to start fires, tie knots, and navigate the wilderness. Selling cookies was not just a way for Joan to support the organization, but also an opportunity to bring joy to her neighbors, whom she always greeted with warmth. But everything changed on April 19, 1973. That day was special for Joan. Her school was closed in observance of Maundy Thursday, giving her time to spend at home. As usual, she played cheerfully in the yard. When she saw one of her neighbors pull up in a new car, she remembered that she had a few cookie orders to deliver. She ran inside, grabbed the boxes, and headed toward the neighbors' houses. Before leaving, she told her mother she would be back soon. But she never returned. At first, her mother wasn't worried. The neighborhood they lived in was quiet and safe, and children often played outside without adult supervision. An hour passed, and the woman began to notice that Joan was still missing. At first, she assumed Joan might have stayed at a friend's house or gotten caught up playing with the neighborhood kids. But as the rain began to fall, her concern deepened. She walked around to the nearby houses, but there was no sign of her daughter anywhere. Her father, upon returning from work, immediately got into his car and began driving around the neighborhood. He checked the park, the playground, and stopped at every store to ask passers-by if they had seen the little girl. Meanwhile, her mother tried to recall exactly which neighbors Joan might have been delivering cookies to. However, the paper with the addresses was missing, leaving only guesses as their only clue. Finally, the worried parents contacted the police. Officers launched a search operation immediately. When local residents learned about Joan's disappearance, they joined the efforts. Firefighters, community volunteers, and FBI agents combed through every corner: forests, parks, abandoned houses, checking every possible lead. Despite their relentless efforts, there was no sign of Joan. As the search dragged on, investigators began to seriously consider the possibility of foul play. Joan's mother mentioned the new car that had caught her daughter's attention just before she vanished. This clue led authorities to Joseph McGowan, a 26-year-old chemistry teacher who lived just a few houses away from the D'Alessandro family. Joseph appeared to be an intelligent and respectable man. His neighbors spoke well of him, and his school praised his professionalism. However, his behavior during questioning raised suspicions among the police. Joseph stumbled over his statements, and his account of the time he spent at home on the day of Joan's disappearance did not match the testimonies of other witnesses. The police offered him a polygraph test, which he agreed to take. The results were shocking. Almost all the key questions triggered a response indicating deception. Investigators increased the pressure, and finally, Joseph confessed to the crime. His admission sent shockwaves through the community. He revealed that Joan had come to his house to deliver cookies. He invited her inside, but according to him, things quickly spiraled out of control. He admitted to killing the little girl and then hiding her body in a national park in New York. However, his story was riddled with contradictions, and detectives did not believe that the crime had been spontaneous. Investigators quickly located Joan's body in the wooded area Joseph had described. It was a moment that devastated everyone involved in the search. The girl's remains, hidden behind a large rock in the dense forest, revealed the chilling nature of the crime. Forensic experts at the scene meticulously examined the evidence, and the results confirmed the horrifying truth. Joan had been assaulted and murdered by a man who seemed so ordinary. The entire town was in shock. Joseph McGowan, known to many as a respected teacher and neighbor, had committed an unthinkable crime. Joan's parents, her friends, and neighbors struggled to comprehend how something so horrific could happen in their quiet community. For weeks, people gathered at the D'Alessandro family's home, offering condolences and support. With each new revelation in the case, the grief and outrage only deepened. Joan was laid to rest, but her story did not end there. Her mother, Mary D'Alessandro, could not accept the thought that her daughter's murderer might one day walk free. She initially focused all her efforts on ensuring that Joseph received the maximum possible punishment. Given the severity of the crime, the court sentenced him to life in prison. However, after studying the law, Mary realized that even for such a criminal, the possibility of parole still existed. Thus began her fight for systemic change. She launched a campaign advocating for a law that would permanently deny such criminals any chance of release. Mary wrote letters, appeared on television, and organized meetings with lawmakers. Her efforts paid off. Soon, New Jersey passed Joan's Law, which prohibited parole for those convicted of murdering children under the age of 14. Later, this law was expanded to the federal level, setting a crucial legal precedent. But Mary did not stop there. She continued to advocate for harsher penalties for those who committed violent crimes against children. Her example inspired many, and she became a symbol of the fight for children's rights. Her work not only changed laws, but also shifted societal attitudes towards such crimes. The memory of Joan D'Alessandro lives on. Her mother established a foundation dedicated to helping children who have suffered abuse and supporting their families. The foundation provides legal, psychological, and financial assistance to those in need. Over the years, hundreds of children and their parents have received vital support. Thanks to Mary D'Alessandro's relentless efforts, New Jersey completely eliminated the statute of limitations for murder. This crucial step allowed many previously unresolved cases to be reopened. Her foundation also focuses on education and prevention, teaching children and parents how to protect themselves from potential threats. Joan's story serves as a reminder of how fragile life is and how essential it is to protect children. Though her life was tragically cut short, she continues to inspire acts of kindness. Joan remains a symbol of the fight for justice, and her mother stands as an example of unwavering determination and love that can change the world. And that concludes our coverage of this tragic story. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates on cases like these. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Feel free to share this video with your friends and give it a thumbs up if you found it valuable. Thank you for watching.